NBA Greatest Dunkers of All Time. Nothing gets the crowd on its feet like a breathtaking dunk, and this can fire up the team whilst intimidating the opposition. Dunks are the ultimate highlight play, and one of the most energizing plays in the game of basketball. Over time, it has become an art form. Dunking has evolved tremendously over time, and every time that we think we've seen the peak of dunking, someone comes along to raise the bar. That is why it's important to look back through the lens of history and attempt to fairly and accurately rank the top 10 dunkers in NBA history. 10. Shaquille O'Neal. Some of our younger viewers may scoff, but in the early stages of his career and in his prime, Shaq was a complete monster when going up for dunks. He frequently threw down enormous dunks on his 7-foot opponents, plus any other player who came to help. At 7 foot and around 300 pounds, there was little you could do to stop Shaq if he caught the ball deep enough. But equally, he was capable of leading the fast break and hammering down a huge, uncontested jam during his Orlando days. Due to his weight and the power he dunked with, Shaq broke a few backboards and regularly caused the entire stanchion to wobble after a show-stopping dunk. Injuries and age soon caught up with him, but there was a time when Shaq was freakishly athletic and attacked the ring at every opportunity.
He just overpowers him, and he comes down, and then he shoves him right there.
9. LeBron James. As with nearly all LeBron James-related items, the most impressive part about his athleticism is his consistency. At age 35, he is nearly as bouncy as he was at 18. During his first stint with the Cleveland Cavaliers, LeBron was arguably the greatest athlete in NBA history. He had regularly went above the rim on dunks, and he threw down consistently violent slams both in space and in traffic. In the ensuing near-decade, LeBron's dealt with minor injuries and major minutes, yet he remains one of the league's premier dunkers. He would likely rank much higher on this list if we had gotten the opportunity to see him in the NBA dunk contest. Unfortunately, we will probably never see that happen.
Making his much-awaited NBA debut. Jerry, boy, you talk about pressure. Is he going to be able to handle it?
Can he handle it? We just don't know.
8. Jason Richardson. Jason Richardson is the definition of creativity. Not only did his dunks have amazing style, but they were often extremely unique and difficult. Being a 2-time dunk contest champion, Richardson is no stranger to powerful dunks. But none was as impressive as the dunk that he pulled off in the 2003 dunk contest. On his final dunk, he decided to create his own dunk that had never been created before. It has been dubbed the J-Rich dunk, and it has gone down as one of the best dunks in contest history. 7. Blake Griffin. If you started following the NBA in the back half of the 2010s, you likely know Blake Griffin primarily as a floor-spacing, ball-handling big man. And while Griffin made the All-NBA third team last year and remains a star when healthy, he was a phenomenon in his younger years. The in-game vault of dunks isn't the only thing that puts Griffin on this list. His consistent dunk contest performance have put him over players such as LeBron James, who never participated in the dunk contest. Griffin became famous by jumping over a Kia in the slam dunk contest. Some say he is the best posterizer of all time, a claim that is undoubtedly backed up by tons of evidence. 6. Daryl Dawkins. Twice in 1979, Daryl Dawkins brought a game to a literal standstill after shattering the backboard with his dunks. Nicknamed Chocolate Thunder, Dawkins hammered his dunks home with extreme power, but also had plenty of grace and creativity. By twice shattering the backboard during a game, the NBA was forced to introduce breakaway rims to stop the delays in case Dawkins again shattered the backboard. In addition to this, Dawkins also came up with brilliant names for his breathtaking dunks, and many of these are still replicated to this day. A few examples of these are Earthquake Shaker, Spine Chiller Supreme, In Your Face, and of course, Slam Bam Thank You Ma'am. 5. Shawn Kemp. To start my top 5 list, the best selection for this spot was none other than Shawn Kemp. The Seattle Supersonics legend is undoubtedly one of the best dunkers in NBA history. His combination of power, style, and grace powered the Supersonics to face the Chicago Bulls in the NBA Finals alongside the legendary Gary Payton. His explosiveness came in especially handy when bursting past defenders and taking it to the rack. He made it normal for big men to get creative and flashy with their dunks. Like most NBA big men, his best dunks were in-game dunks instead of in dunk contests. Nevertheless, he participated in 4 such contests, and although he never won, he still ranks high against other big men who took part in the dunk contest. 4. Dominique Wilkins. Nicknamed the human highlight film, Dominique Wilkins has thrown a large percentage of the NBA's most breathtaking dunks. He threw down dunks with the same power as Kemp, but he also had the creativity of Drexler and did not shy away from attacking the basket and rising up above multiple defenders. At 6'8", this saw him often looking down on the ring, and there were not many who could or would dare rise to challenge him. This saw Wilkins embarrass many defenders over the course of his career, and he has also twice won the dunk contest. He had a wide range of dunks in his arsenal and would try these out during games, with some of his most famous dunks being windmills and tomahawks. For most players, dunking is a highlight play, but for Wilkins, it was a key aspect of his game, and he was practically unstoppable when attacking the basket. 3. Julius Erving. If Daryl Dawkins made people fear the dunk, then Julius Erving made people gape at it. Erving was almost born to be the father of the dunk. He got his start in the fun-loving ABA, which showed basketball could be looser and more aesthetically interesting than the staid Knicks or Boston Celtics would have you think. Best known as Dr. J, it is thanks to Julius Erving that dunking has become a large part of the game. In addition to his astonishing vertical leap, Dr. J also used his enormous hands to palm the ball, which allowed him to move the ball around with one hand in the air before throwing down a ferocious dunk. Whether it was on a fast break or other multiple defenders, Dr. J was one of the greatest in-game dunkers who certainly inspired every entry on this list. 2. Michael Jordan. As if being the greatest player to grace the hardwood wasn't enough, Michael Jordan is also one of the all-time great dunkers, both in-game and in dunk contests. His breathtaking athleticism and vertical leap allowed him to soar much like Drexler, and his upper body strength enabled him to take a hit and still finish strong. He dunked on many of the NBA's most elite defenders in a notoriously physical era, but out on a fast break, nobody finished better than Jordan. He knew how to electrify crowds with windmills, tomahawks, double pumps, and all kinds of other breathtaking dunks, which still remain as posters in many NBA fans' bedrooms. Many of the NBA's most iconic moments have been when his airness attacked the basket, and he truly made dunking an art form with his mid-air exploits. This is all just a small part of his incredible legacy. 1. Vince Carter. As you can see, a lot of big-name players made this list, but Vince Carter is without a doubt the best dunker ever. He was explosive enough to jump higher than just about anyone, while aggressive enough to dunk it extremely hard. He would jump so high to catch an alley-oop, some became concerned that he would cut his head on the rim. He could improvise a dunk and make it look planned. Just ask Frederick Weiss, the 7-footer that he jumped over in the 2000 Olympics, and dunked it emphatically. He also had the single greatest performance in dunk contest history when he became the first player to pull off the 360 windmill dunk. After an NBA career that spanned 4 decades, it's safe to say that he is the one and only dunk master. That was it for today's video, guys. And let me know in the comments below if you would change this list a bit or add another player who you think is underrated. But one thing that I know for sure is that the #1 spot belongs only to Vince Carter.